You sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got
Oh, hi
Hey,
there.
hey, how's it going?
I was just an idea.
Good. Trying to
Figure out where
get
we
us all
go.
set up.
I'm a big beautiful Bill,
There ought to be a
right?
law. Then he
Is
sat
that
That's
the
down and
lyric?
right.
pulled me out and introduced me to
If
the
you
law.
are young enough to not know what Schoolhouse Rock is, you missed out.
I feel like a lot of things came back. This probably did too at some iteration, right?
Correct. I think this would have been nice had we had more time and prepared a little bit more. We probably could have created our own version of this with the new age stuff. Maybe we'll
Right.
do that.
Yeah, yeah. That's our. We could a schoolhouse, a multifamily weekend update edition of Schoolhouse Rock for various things.
Yes. I
Bills, numbers, construction. I don't know what else.
Yeah, it could break some things down. I really like this idea.
Hey, Eric Sharp, how you doing?
I'm good. Welcome, welcome to
Uh,
episode 44 of the
You made it.
Multifamily Weekend Update.
You made it to Friday. You look like a golfer today, or
I feel like a golfer
something. Yeah.
today. I'm not going golfing today because it is hot out, Justin. It has been a hot
Mhm.
week for a lot of folks.
Yeah. Summer weather is brutal. Lots of heat, lots of storms. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you want to kick things off today, Justin?
I mean, the biggest news, the saddest news, is really sort of relating to weather. The on July 4th we didn't have an episode, but news broke early that day. Major flooding in Texas, specifically Kerr or Kerr County, um, and a lot of devastation, lives lost. So people in the industry have been obviously responding, commenting, finding ways of helping or connecting people that might need help.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think one of the most important refrains for me is that action beats sympathy. I think a lot of us heard and saw the now famous man who was a part of the Coast Guard on his first mission, saved
Mhm.
165 human beings, human
Mhm.
lives, which is incredible for your first mission
Right. Hmm.
out of training. Seems like a very down to earth person. And then, gosh, we had those resources there to help save those lives. But I know a lot of people are still impacted by the loss of life, just the catastrophic loss of life. And I'm proud to know that our industry is stepping up as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the positives that you can look toward in situations like this. One of the kind of one of the ones that has a lot of momentum, some of the most momentum behind it, was started by Apartment List, championed by Mike Wolber. A lot of other companies, they're there listed. I won't list them all, but there's a lot of folks that stepped up. I believe 37,000 right now. I'm logging my runs. I'm going to do a little more running today and through the weekend to kind of help that number go up.
Yeah. And, if you don't like to run, walking's fine too. I normally
True.
start my
Yes.
runs with a walk. But yeah, I went ahead and did a 5K earlier this week, and I'm going to probably knock out a couple more miles. I know that a lot of organizations are participating. I think it's, in a funny, I don't know the impetus of this per se. Like if Mike was like, hey, let's get people running. I know that Mike likes to run. He's definitely an athlete, but
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see his leadership and Apartment List, dive in head first here, and then the rest of multifamily.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a great way to rally support beyond just a dollar, which is obviously the most important part. But for folks that feel, like individuals, different, they can still participate just by logging miles, right? That's going to, all these different companies have pledged per mile done. So the more miles that
Oh,
get logged, the more we're going to do.
this is
Rangewater's
incredible. Lisa
done
just let us
something.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Lisa, thank you so much. Yeah, Rangewater, I guess, has
So yeah, I mean, if you look, you'll find stuff,
yeah.
you'll find ways. I know Multifamily Media Network actually they in their most recent newsletter they actually sent ways on their website, including the apartment list run, but also some other resources where you can directly get involved with food relief or other kinds of donations. I think there's like two or three resources on there.
Yep. So you can scan the QR code at the top if you want, or just head over to the Multifamily Media Network website and look for that bar at the top,
Yeah,
where you can click the link and go in. But yeah, this is great. So thank you
yeah,
so much, Jennifer Carter, for putting this together and making sure that there's additional resources for direct donations.
yep. So
All
it's
right.
still summer, but we'll go back to school real quick, and let's talk about what happened last week.
Yeah, well, while we were out enjoying our vacation, something pretty big happened on July 4th. And this was the one big beautiful bill passed. President Trump talked about getting this bill passed by the 4th, and it did in fact pass. Still a lot to go through. It's a huge bill, but some of the main things that I picked out of this bill that are directly going to impact multifamily housing is that the opportunity zones have received a permanent extension. So there's going to be lots more long-term investment opportunities there. And then there's an expansion of the low-income housing
Hmm.
tax credits, the LIHTCs, which basically means more affordable housing projects are going to be moving forward. So that is definitely a net positive there.
Yeah, yeah. So there are some good things. There's some bad things, or not as great of things too, right? There's not as much incentive for any of those green initiatives that kind of were part of that. I was at a conference recently in Atlanta, and they were sort of talking about some of these incentives and tax credits that a lot of affordable housing kind of depended on, and these green initiatives to help kind of get things done. Those are all gone, which is slows some of that down in some ways.
Yep. Now, I'm not sure how they're sunsetting some of these. So you want to look into each individual, line item within
Hmm.
this bill if you are responsible for handling these items. But yeah, I mean, essentially, some of these items were rescinded effective immediately, and others will have a sunset period.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So
All
we'll
right.
we'll keep watching. We'll keep watching. Some more
Yeah.
news announced just a few days ago. Allegiant has rolled Gatewise into their family, which is a big deal.
Oh yeah. It's I didn't see this coming because we just did a nice event with Gatewise, but it makes sense, having one tech company, uh, you
Hmm.
know, roll up and gather in Gatewise. So congratulations to everyone on the Gatewise team who's now going to be a part of a much larger organization. I'm curious what the impact is going to be on the ground level. Of
Hmm.
course, for everyone who works with Gatewise as a customer. I'm assuming nothing will change initially, uh, but
Right.
happy to get someone on from Gatewise in the future to get some comments on that.
Yeah, I also think it speaks to sort of the trend that we've been seeing where these kind of acquisitions and mergers are happening more frequently and more frequently. Like I've also noticed in some companies in some situations where you're not necessarily focused on a particular tech experience or a particular develop multifamily experience. You're looking for people on your team who have experience in acquisitions and mergers, and so there now that some of these companies are kind of bringing on folks to kind of handle things like this, how best to move forward when this happens.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, what other breaking news do we have?
There
today,
was
Justin?
we have a lot of stuff going on. There was some stuff from last week. Some of we highlighted the big stuff from last week. People, it is summer, so people are populating and or resting. A lot of the news that we're seeing, right, is 3 weeks old. So that's something that we're still navigating. And I'm still navigating how best to search it. It's not as easy as it was 2 weeks ago. I'll say that. But Slate Asset Management is prepping for a 1,600 unit purchase of a Sunbelt portfolio. I think it's going to be upwards 227 million for that acquisition. And Clarion Partners, based in New York, is making their first investment in the Big Sky state, Montana. They're getting an asset in Bozeman, 162 units, a group of townhomes. Which have you been to Bozeman?
I have not been to Bozeman. Been to Montana, just not Bozeman.
Bozeman's, I mean, it's cool. It's it's a cool city. It's a cool little
Right,
city.
Montana, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like it has
I
a
se- I,
Boulder-esque
I, se-
quality.
I second guessed myself there. I was like, no, it's not Utah, is it? No.
No, it's Montana. Where have you been in Montana?
Oh, all around Big Sky Country, my friend. I have
Well, that's
driven.
Bozeman.
Well,
It's
I
right
was
near it. I mean, it's like
I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid. So we
okay.
drove through Yellowstone National Park when I was a kid. So I mean, short answer is I've been there.
So you've
Long
probably been
answer,
to Bozeman, but you don't know it.
probably. I was,
Maybe.
of the tender age of probably 13, 14, listening to Outcast.
I won't.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
I, I won't ask you any more personal questions about Montana then.
That's okay. Hey, I heard well, two things. So Zigo put out their fifth
Mm-hmm.
annual resident experience manner report.
Are you
That's
making fun
I'm
of my
re
typo?
I'm reading. I'm not making fun of your type. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
reading what
literally
you put.
are on
I'm just
LinkedIn.
reading what you put, my friend.
Hey, the top of Q3 is tough. All right.
I
I don't have time to send it to a marketing person like yourself to
I
edit it.
understand your fingers are all dried up and pruny from being in the pool and then in the sun, and
Yeah.
it's hard to get back to the
Yeah.
kitty cat
Well,
typing. I
I'll go
understand.
in and edit my post. I hope that doesn't change my algorithm rate.
Oh,
We'll
it's
see.
gonna screw you. You're not gonna
I
show
don't
up
know.
for. You're done. You're not gonna
I'm
show up
not.
3 weeks from
I
now.
think now people are going to start clicking that bell to see the multifamily week in review
Yep.
notes or whatever. Yeah.
They're smart idea, smart idea. And there's some bunch of open roles right now. Bell Partners.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Inhabit, Graystar. Duh, Graystar's got open roles. Imagine that. R1 Facility Services, Regency,
Mm-hmm.
Multifamily, Offshore Mines, and the Guarantors.
Yeah. Yeah. Some good
And I
stuff.
know that you guys are hosting something, right? In August,
There's
MRI is hosting.
their annual user conference. They're starting to promote it now. It's in October in Nashville. So it's not just for people that use MRI's products like core product, but any of the MRI solutions, whether it's energy or fraud or any kind of things. And especially if you're near Nashville, it's kind of a great experience.
What is the thing in
Imagine
Denver?
that in Denver.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a think tank. It's sponsored by a few folks, few different companies, bringing good minds and multifamily together. All the proceeds for it are going to go to Entryway. So it's also a fundraiser, but it's sort of like from what I can tell and gather, and someone can definitely correct me and email me and say you were wrong, redact this, say this instead. But it's sharing best ideas, best practices. There's some kind of workshopy conversations. It seems like, and it looks it's going to be at the Denver Performing Arts Center and towards the end of August. So definitely check that out.
Can I go to it?
Yeah, get yourself to Denver, man.
Sounds like an easy thing to do. Yeah.
And then also, if you still want to go back to Vegas, and you can't wait for Blueprint or Optech or anything else, Interface Conference Groups is holding a multifamily Las Vegas conference, a summit specific to that region. If you have development, if you have projects there, if you're interested in that market or learning more about it, that might be something to check out.
Yeah, in case you lost all of your money and got it back, and then lost it again and got it back,
Hmm.
and then lost it again, you can go back to Vegas
Right.
and
Yeah.
get it back.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hmm.
Newsletters are coming out half year. People have been sending newsletters, wrapping up the quarter, top of the month. Multifamily Media Network has recently put one out for the summer. There's a lot of good stuff in it. Just a few call outs. Mike Brewer has a piece on the power of the pause, something that we talk about a lot in various ways. This is a great reminder, especially during the summer. You should check that out. And Ronald Harrington has a piece, an information, kind of addressing the fact that leasing is on life support. He has ways of helping revive what's been kind of going on in some of the leasing teams that people have noticed. And then Blueprints, you're involved in this, Eric. MMN has some folks at a roundtable, right, that you can
This
kind
is
of
true.
connect.
This is true. If you want, I could probably pop a graphic up. But yes, there's going to be a bunch of roundtables at Blueprint, and I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to be talking a little bit about employee retention for my topic, but I'm excited to get a bunch of folks that are not typically invited to events like Blueprint to
Yeah.
join.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But take a look at all of the different folks who are part of the Multifamily Media Network who are going to be on the roundtable. I'll put a graphic on for next week.
Yeah, and we have some time to kind of to keep people to remind people about it. If you did check us out last week or throughout the week, last week we posted our amenity swim. So we've had two amenity things. We've had amenity monster, amenity swim. Now we got to come up with a third kind of amenity thing to do, but last week we featured some of the coolest pools in multifamily across the country from coast to coast. We will actually be tagging those companies and those properties again. We didn't tag them last week. And we may even have a contest among them. Might be a voting contest, might be another kind of contest. We'll see what happens.
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Another fun thing. Who's got the coolest pool to beat the heat? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there were some cool pools, some like normal pools, but it was kind of some pretty pictures from all over the country, including a property in Bozeman. I don't know if it's the same one, but it was a really nice pool with the mountains in the background. And speaking of contests, I don't really talk about the prop tech puzzle of the week on here. I keep that stuff for for the weekend. But last week I made it a patriotic one. Similar to the New York Times connections puzzle, this is just one category. You had to identify the logos and then figure out what they had in common. Um, People got close. I think the closest was Marshall.
Oh, Justin popped in and popped out.
I
I
don't
love
know.
it.
I don't know what happened. But so Marshall Friday wins. He's going to get a little gift from me, and maybe Eric. Maybe he should be our first former industry person that joins us. I know he doesn't work specifically in multifamily now, but he has a lot of that experience. Maybe we have somebody outside the industry, and every once in a while bring somebody. I mean, he's kind of a hybrid, but maybe every once in a while we bring somebody in from outside the industry. What do you
I
think?
like another idea. This is great. We're just live workshopping.
Live workshopping. Why
This
not?
is good. Well, so what was the answer?
Oh, I said it, but I was off. Oh, so it's
You were
it's identity matching. It's like verifying that you are that person. So it's similar to verification. The term that this is referring to is identity matching, where all of these four companies are matching identity in certain ways. The trickiest one is Butterfly MX because it's a little different, right? It's a little different in terms of your identity matching the identity for access control. Whereas in other companies, you're sort of matching the ID in a kind of a fraud prevention process. And Lisa plays Connections as well. So that's so we're in good company. That's my favorite one of all of them. My wife plays all 4 or 5. Do you play the New York Times?
I do.
Yeah.
Typically, my wife and I will either A, compete, or B, do it together. Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's not, we don't, my wife and I don't talk about it. We talk about it way at the end of the day after we both have done it.
We wait till the end of the day. It's like a reward.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Some other summer news is it's National Free Slurpee Day. Yeah.
So go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven's birthday, kind of, right? They're celebrating, is 7-Eleven. They're celebrating their existence. There's history about, I think they started, if I read correctly, I think they started in Texas. But you can go to get a free small Slurpee at many locations. And if you're in Florida, you can get a 7-Eleven Slurpee tattoo, I think. So
I would rather get my Slurpee right there.
no one said that you can't put alcohol in your Slurpee, Eric.
This is why Slurpees are pretty much a big deal in summer for adults.
Yeah.
That's right. If you see an adult eating a Slurpee when the sun's going down, there's a 90% chance there's
exactly.
some
Well,
liquor in there.
thank you for sharing your backyard aerial shot with us. You got a great setup. You got a great setup there, man.
This is the dream. It's not reality.
No, you have too many cats for it to be a reality. They would puncture
they would
that inflatable
that.
pool thing. Yeah.
I will have to evict the cats for this.
Yes, 100%. So that's about it for today. It's a summer. We're in the top of July.
Yeah, this is a little late, but Lisa plays all of them. Yeah, Lisa loves it. Thanks, Lisa.
It's a great one. Yeah. I love it.
Well, now for your you want to leave us with a moment of, I can't call it moment of zen, but maybe I'll call it moment of clarity. I don't want to copy off of our wonderful friend Jon Stewart.
Yeah, isn't like 60% of what we do copying or parodying?
It's parroting a parody show. Is that even possible?
It's parodying it, But I don't know. Yes, we'll call it a moment of wonder.
A moment of wonder.
Weekend update moment of wonder. Maybe.
Well, I'm gonna have to change the caption then. This what you're seeing right now is one of the like a breeding ground for rays. It was recently posted. Yeah.
Wonderful. Very good summer vibes. Well, have a great Friday and a happy weekend, and we will see you